You said you had like fame before you started the podcast. I wonder how much of your fame translated into podcast growths, because from my just perspective, not knowing, I would guess that there wouldn't have been much of a translation there, and therefore you essentially did just start from the same place as everyone else. Like, you had to cold email people you were interested in, and they didn't give a fuck that you had, I don't know, 10,000 Instagram followers, right? Yeah. They were just like, well, you've got a podcast with no downloads, so what's it worth?
Precisely.
Or, I mean, yeah, like, did it help you at all, having
not
the big Instagram account?
Not in the slightest. Dude, I had...
Not in the slightest. Okay, see, but that's cool. It's a nice, like, message of... Just as a confession, I was really nervous. Well, I am still a bit, but was really nervous talking to you specifically, which is bizarre because, like, during the week I've spoken to some like huge international journalists who I've amazing respect for, people that I want to emulate, right? But I wasn't as nervous for them as I was speaking to you. But I think it's because there's just something about, like, you've done this thing that I really want to do, and I'm not sure what it was. Nonetheless,
so I understand what you mean, man, and this is the beauty of social media. I think this is why people, the good side of social media, that you get to see the people that you admire or look up to or consume their content or have an affinity with, you get to see them in a more humanistic, naturalistic setting. You know, you get to know the president's dogs' names. Not that anyone's looking up to Joe Biden as a fantastic role model of like where they want to go in life, but my point is that you get to see behind the scenes, right? But no, anybody that thinks that fame in one area crosses over to success in another now, that's becoming increasingly narrow as the internet becomes more specialized. So you can have a huge Instagram account. Look at those people that have got, those influencers that have got 1 million followers on Instagram. Yep. Go look at their YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel sucks dick. It sucks dick because they don't know what they're doing, because they understand the game of Instagram. But the people that do YouTube, the Mr. Beasts of the world, the Ali Abdals of the world, these people understand it so much more sophisticatedly with nuance than the guy that just thinks, oh, well, I was successful and had clout on Instagram, therefore I can put my booty pictures or my workout videos across onto YouTube and it's going to work. And the same thing goes even more so for podcasts, because there's no virality. And also a podcast specifically, or writing as well, I guess, if you were blogging, it's such a time-intensive investment from the consumer that I'll follow someone on Instagram. I used to, I don't anymore. I'd follow someone on Instagram that I hated just because I liked watching a car crash of their life going on, right? I'm not going to listen to
them. It's a bit sadistic, mate.
Well, yeah, very much so. But everyone's got that. Everyone's got the person that they low-key hate, but they follow because I can't believe that she's still
so
posting.
Much Schadenfreude
in absolutely, absolutely, yeah. But no one listens to the podcast of that person. Why? Because it's so much time under tension that it's unbearable. And this is why I think the few industries that you're going to see moving forward, longer form YouTube and the existing sort of 10-minute stuff, audio, podcast, writing, sort of the blogosphere and newsletters, I think all of these things are going to continue to grow because there's a selection effect for really good content. The Matthew principle will be in effect here because it's such a big investment from the audience to the listener. You're essentially, as a podcaster, you're essentially a god walking around in this person's ears. They can hear nothing of the world, especially if you've got AirPod Pros. They can't even hear the traffic going past them. They can hear your voice and maybe your guests.
Yep.
Like that's intense, and it's investment. It's genuine investment. So if someone wants to get rich quick or grow a platform fast, podcasting isn't for you. It's shit for that. It's the worst thing in the world for that. If you want to make a connection with an audience that's going to adore you in 10 years' time, then it's the right platform.